Deep in the heart of Maryland lies Burkittsville, a sleepy town where the air feels thick with secrets and the Black Hills Forest looms like a silent sentinel. The name alone, Blair Witch, sends shivers down the spine, conjuring images of twisted stick figures, disembodied whispers, and a malevolent presence that refuses to be forgotten. For the World Mysteries audience, lovers of the eerie and unexplained, this legend is a siren call, beckoning us to unravel its mysteries. Is the Blair Witch a ghost born of vengeance, a fabrication of clever storytelling, or something far stranger? With over 2,000 words, we'll dive into the chilling depths of this tale, weaving a narrative so gripping you won't look away until the final word. The story begins in 1785, in a settlement then called Blair, now Burkittsville. A small, God-fearing community, Blair was a place where everyone knew each other's secrets, or so they thought. At the center of the town's darkest chapter was Elly Kedward, an Irish immigrant with a reclusive nature and a penchant for herbal remedies. To the superstitious townsfolk, her solitary habits and strange knowledge marked her as dangerous. Whispers spread, Elly was luring children to her cabin, pricking their fingers to draw blood for unspeakable rituals. Fear turned to panic, and in the dead of winter, the townspeople convicted her of witchcraft without trial. Elly's punishment was brutal. Banished into the Black Hills Forest, she was tied to a tree and left to freeze, her cries swallowed by the wind. But the forest, it seemed, had other plans. The following year, half of Blair's children vanished without a trace. Search parties scoured the woods, finding nothing but eerie silence. The town, gripped by terror, was abandoned soon after, its name fading into obscurity. Yet the story of Elly Kedward lingered, whispered from generation to generation, growing into the legend of the Blair Witch. The Black Hills Forest became a place of dread. Locals spoke of strange lights flickering among the trees, of footsteps that followed but never revealed their source. Crude stick figures, twisted branches woven into humanoid shapes began appearing, hanging from branches like silent warnings. By the 19th century, the Blair Witch was no longer just a story. She was a presence, a shadow that haunted the edges of Burkittsville's collective memory. The legend might have remained a local curiosity if not for a series of chilling events that kept the Blair Witch alive in the public imagination. In 1824, a young girl named Eileen Galvin wandered into a creek in the Black Hills Forest and was never seen again. Witnesses claimed the water was shallow, yet her body was never recovered, as if the forest itself had claimed her. A decade later, a hunter named Robin Weaver went missing for 3 days, only to return with tales of an old woman who led him through the woods, her feet never touching the ground. The most infamous chapter came in 1940. 7 children from Burkittsville vanished over the course of a single month. A massive search effort yielded nothing until Rustin Parr, a reclusive hermit living deep in the forest, turned himself in. Parr confessed to luring the children to his cabin, killing them one by one in a ritual he claimed was ordered by a voice in his head, an old woman who haunted his dreams. His cabin, when searched, revealed grim evidence: children's shoes, blood-stained clothing, and strange symbols carved into the walls. Parr was tried, convicted, and executed, but his story only deepened the mystery. Was he a madman, or was he a puppet of the Blair Witch? The disappearances didn't end with Parr. Over the decades, hikers and campers reported unsettling experiences in the Black Hills, compasses spinning wildly, time slipping away inexplicably, and the unshakable sense of being watched. In 1994, 3 student filmmakers, Heather Donahue, Joshua Leonard, and Michael Williams, ventured into the forest to document the legend. They vanished, leaving behind only their equipment and footage that would later become the backbone of the Blair Witch Project. Their disappearance reignited interest in the legend, drawing thrill-seekers and skeptics alike to Burkittsville. In 1999, the Blair Witch Project exploded onto the global stage, redefining horror and cementing the legend's place in pop culture. Marketed as found footage, recovered from the missing students, the film followed Heather, Josh, and Mike as they interviewed Burkittsville locals about the Blair Witch before plunging into the Black Hills forest. What followed was a descent into terror. Lost maps, endless loops through the woods, strange noises, and those haunting stick figures. The final scene, with its cryptic imagery of a figure standing in a corner, left audiences frozen in their seats. The film's power lay in its realism. Shot on handheld cameras with a budget of just $60,000, it felt like a documentary gone horribly wrong. Directors Daniel Myrick and Eduardo Sanchez amplified this by creating a viral marketing campaign that blurred fact and fiction. A website detailed the missing students, complete with fake police reports and interviews. For a brief moment, the internet, still a novel space, hummed with debate. Was this real? The film grossed nearly $250 million, proving that fear thrives in ambiguity. But the truth behind the film is less supernatural. Myrick and Sanchez admitted it was fiction, inspired by local folklore but not rooted in verifiable events. Burkittsville, tired of tourists and vandals, has repeatedly debunked the legend, with locals insisting the town's history is mundane. Yet the Black Hills forest remains a magnet for the curious, and stories of strange encounters persist. So what's real? Let's examine the evidence. Historically, there's no record of an Elly Kedward in 18th century Maryland, and the tale of her banishment mirrors other witch hunt stories, like those of Salem. The 1940 disappearances and Rustin Parr's crimes exist only in the fictional universe of the Blair Witch Project. The Black Hills forest, while vast and disorienting, shows no statistical anomaly in missing persons cases compared to other wilderness areas. Stick figures? Likely the work of pranksters or fans recreating the film's imagery. Yet the forest has an undeniable aura. Spanning over 40,000 acres, it's a labyrinth of dense trees and rocky terrain where disorientation is easy. Hikers have reported compasses failing, possibly due to magnetic anomalies, and strange sounds that could be attributed to wildlife, or something else. In 2016, a group of campers claimed their tent was surrounded by stick figures overnight, with no footprints to suggest human interference. On platforms like X, users share grainy videos of shadowy figures and eerie whispers captured in the Black Hills, though skeptics dismiss these as hoaxes. Then there's the psychological angle. The forest's isolation amplifies fear, turning every rustle into a threat. The stick figures, even if man-made, tap into our primal fear of the unknown, their unnatural shapes suggesting intent beyond human understanding. The Blair Witch legend thrives on this, the possibility that something lurks just out of sight. Why does the Blair Witch endure? It's not just the spooky forest or the creepy symbols. It's the way the story burrows into our psyche, exploiting fears of the unseen and the uncontrollable. Unlike a slasher villain, the Blair Witch isn't a physical monster you can fight. She's a force, a whisper, a shadow that lingers in your peripheral vision. The found footage format of the Blair Witch Project heightens this, making you feel as if you're trapped in the woods, hearing the same snaps and whispers as the doomed filmmakers. The legend also taps into our love of ambiguity. Is Elly Kedward a ghost, a demon, or a collective hallucination born of fear? The lack of answers is what keeps us hooked, driving us to scour forums, watch grainy YouTube videos, and even venture into the Black Hills ourselves. It's a mystery that invites participation, daring us to find the truth or become part of the legend. Let's explore some theories. The skeptical view holds that the Blair Witch is pure fiction, a blend of folklore and clever marketing. Burkittsville's history shows no unusual tragedies, and the disappearances in the film are fabricated. The stick figures and strange phenomena? likely the work of overzealous fans or natural explanations like wind and wildlife. But other theories persist. Some believe the Black Hills Forest is a thin place, a location where the veil between our world and another is fragile. Could the Blair Witch be a manifestation of this, a spirit or entity tied to the land? Others suggest a psychological explanation. The forest's isolation and disorienting layout induce a kind of mass hysteria, where fear creates its own reality. A few locals even whisper that Elly Kedward was real, not a witch, but a misunderstood woman whose death left a psychic imprint on the forest. Then there's the paranormal angle. Paranormal investigators have visited Burkittsville, armed with EMF meters and spirit boxes, claiming to detect unusual activity. Posts on X describe EVP recordings capturing whispers of "Elly" or "Help me." While these are far from conclusive, they fuel the belief that something unnatural haunts the Black Hills. Today, the Blair Witch remains a cultural touchstone. Sequels like Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2, 2000, and Blair Witch, 2016 expanded the mythos, though neither captured the original's raw terror. Burkittsville, meanwhile, grapples with its unwanted fame, with signs warning tourists against trespassing. Yet the forest continues to draw adventurers, from ghost hunters to TikTok creators, each hoping to capture proof of the witch. The legend's power lies in its adaptability. In an age of smartphones and instant information, the Blair Witch feels both ancient and modern, a ghost story that thrives in viral videos and online forums. Whether you believe in her or not, she's a reminder that some mysteries refuse to be solved. As twilight falls over the Black Hills Forest, the trees seem to whisper, and the air grows heavy with possibility. The Blair Witch, whether real or imagined, is a testament to the enduring power of fear. For World Mysteries fans, this is what we live for. A story that challenges our understanding, that dares us to look closer, to step into the darkness. Is the Blair Witch a ghost, a legend, or a mirror reflecting our deepest anxieties? The truth may lie somewhere in the shadows of Burkittsville, waiting for those brave or foolish enough to seek it. So what do you think? Is the Blair Witch just a story, or is there something truly lurking in those woods? Share your thoughts, your theories, or even your own encounters in the comments. And if you ever find yourself near Burkittsville, tread carefully. The forest is always watching. And don't forget to subscribe to World Mysteries for more chilling tales, hidden truths, and the unexplained.